So I just have.
That's true. Yeah, I use mine quite often.
Okay, it's close enough. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Carolyn. Danny.
Yes.
Derek.
Yep.
Mary.
Yes.
James. Yes. Michael. Sherry. Margaret. Bruce. Bruce, I see him back there. I know he's back there.
He's kind of present.
He's present. Alright. Minutes, February 3rd. Motion, if you're all right. Motion for that.
Yeah, I'll make it, make it fun.
Roll call. Danny.
Yes.
Derek.
Yes.
Mary.
Yes.
Jay. Yes. Michael.
Yes.
Motion carries. All right, public hearing, February 20th. Approval of the minutes as there. I need another motion.
I'll let you.
Michael makes it.
I'll second.
20 seconds. Second roll call. Derek.
Yep.
Mary.
Yes.
Jane. Yes. Michael. Yes. Danny.
Yes.
5-0, motion carried. Okay, bills are in front of you. Only big ones, you got I believe you got work comp in there for $900 in 20 divisions. Other than that, it's normal, unless you question something else that I don't know.
We are 50 million, signed, I think.
Yes, we did.
We paid farmers to work on that water leak thing? Is that what I'm getting out of this?
Yes, that was the one that, over by,
Motel.
Joanne.
Joanne Thompson's. We had discussed
We
that.
figured it out, it was our own fault. It was our fault that we,
Oh,
from way back when.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know what else you.
I know you told me we had to fix it, but I don't know if we hired him.
Well, no,
Well,
Thompson
she-
hired, but it was on.
She's hard with us.
Oh, where
She hired them as we paid.
Oh, she had it.
She
had it.
She hired the plumber to come in, and then we found out that it was because of something that happened a couple of years ago that
Okay, I got it.
finally materialized.
That made more sense.
Okay.
Yeah, pay him.
All right, Derek made the motion to pay the bills.
I'll second.
20 seconds, roll call. Here we go. Mary,
Yes.
Jane. Yes. Michael. Danny.
Yes.
Derek.
Yep.
5-0, motion carries. Okay, Sherry's up. And I don't.
Okay, we received interest on one CD at the bottom of the page on the left-hand side of the CD. And then we have a CD, that same CD has matured. It's matured last week and we're going to reinvest that this week. Interest rates have gone down a little bit, but we'll check that out on Wednesday and see what the best option is going to be for us.
Stock market came back up today, it's probably back up.
But they don't change their rates until every Tuesday.
Tuesday's rate change.
Okay.
So what do you think, T-Town match?
We don't have anything to match it to right
Yeah,
now.
right.
Okay. Okay. And that's for how much, Sherry?
$1,275.31.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, and at the bottom of the general fund savings account, you'll notice that's on the bottom right-hand corner. You'll notice that public risk fund is $365. we decided to put that in that savings account just so we can keep track of it, because it'll go for several months and we don't remember if we've used it or not, so we'll put it there so we can keep track of it.
It's a safety ring.
Oh, that's that safety reimbursement?
Yeah.
That's for our
That's okay.
insurance.
Yeah.
Kind of rebate.
And that's all the choice I have.
Place it on file.
Not too bad. Any questions on the treasurer's report? All right. We're all good on, any questions on any of it? Okay, Tony, or whoever's speaking for you guys, these are the guys from the Centennial Committee. Asking permission to put in a burnout pit out at the park for the Centennial celebration. If you guys know what that is.
Now, there's over the park. Kind of see what's going on, but we were wanting to put a concrete pad, more or less, for the burnout pit. We'll have to put a little road in and out of it.
No, so down there, what's a burnout pit, 'cause I have no idea.
You ever watch a car racing at the end, they burn out and have a celebration, they're smoking?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Basically, they're gonna
That
have
basically-
muscle cars and whatever else there's.
We're having, on the Friday night, we're having a cruise night, what we call cruise night. And then, as they cruise to the park, if they choose to, they can drive through it and do a burnout. And, it's
A legal place to do a burnout.
Illegal
Yeah,
place
legal,
to
yeah.
burn out, okay. I'll pass the word and let everybody know that they want to go over and burn out that Friday night.
Basically, it's straight east of the campsites.
Yes.
Yeah, it's straight east.
On the south side, the same side as the campsites, only east according to that.
East of campsites, okay, that's only
Yeah.
good enough.
And we're
What would you
gonna
think of
have,
moving it more to the west, Tony,
pardon?
where our campsites are? That way, when it's not in use for burnouts or whatever, campers can back in there.
Well,
How was it?
what we're thinking is we're gonna barricade, keep it barricaded. Because after the
I know.
thing's done,
Somebody.
you don't want kids going out there and using it, whenever they feel.
Right.
We were gonna put, for the burnout, we're gonna put barriers on it permanently. And then we'll have some afterwards too, but after the thing's over, we're just gonna block it off. So cars can't go in there and horse around.
Good idea.
So do you see using,
Yeah, we was
Using
gonna,
it,
and then
yeah.
we was going to use it in future years, like the night before the tractor pull or something,
If it all turns
if,
out.
if it goes well. Which G-Topless has done it the last couple of years, and it was really.
Is there any other ones around here that have done this, other than Tapas?
Somebody in Effingham do it,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't remember who it was, but they was doing it in Effingham too.
Or didn't Gutman Brothers have it when they had their little
Yeah.
car night?
I think they did.
Yes, but there's another place in Effingham they were doing it. I don't remember where.
Was it Harley Davidson place maybe or something?
It's something like that. But yes, you're right, the Gavin Brothers does it too.
Mhm.
They just use their own lot.
Use it, use Friday night prior to the Centennial, am I getting?
How heavy are these barriers, Otis, do you know?
They're
Again,
about,
what I'm getting at is, okay, so the kids, so there's a couple, 2, 3 kids out there with their vehicles, and they got a chain, they can wrap around one of them, pull it out of the way, and.
yeah, they're a tractor. They weigh about 4,000 pounds.
Okay, I'm
There's
just
a-
asking, the concrete.
They're the K-rails that you see on, like they put on the interstate to divide the two
Yeah, I
lanes.
know what they are, I'm just asking.
And they're tied together.
I mean,
tied together
I'd say it wouldn't be impossible, but they're.
Okay. It's like a train?
We're doing that so that way nobody
Okay.
goes out there and just.
Plays on it, you know.
Right.
Being in the, where the campers are, we got to, that's probably a little too close to that corner.
Okay.
That's why we was
Just
worried about that.
suggestion.
Yeah, what was worried about there.
How long have you talking about?
Yeah.
75 feet by 25 to 30 feet wide. And we're having, we've got a security company hired for the week, for the whole weekend. There's gonna be security there for the whole Centennial weekend. And of course, we have insurance too.
Yeah, that was something that was brought up to me today. Would you guys have additional insurance for this burnout thing?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of figured you did. But we'll also check with our insurance company just to make sure that everything is on the QT.
Yeah.
So, we have a blanket coverage on the town and on the park, but I don't know if it covers that in case something happened. And, you know how people are today.
Yeah.
They go after both
Insurance
insurance
companies
companies.
you want. That's where it's went, huh?
I'm okay with it.
Well, then we're gonna need,
Can you show me where, on that map where you want to? Looks like T-Town, they go from like
It's gonna
70.
be in this vicinity, I ain't sure how far.
We're gonna
this
shut it
one
down.
is. Be on that side of the tree. We were thinking this sign, but
Thinking like
there's just.
about 9 then. By the time you get time, 8 or
Probably
9.
before that.
But there's really no lights on that side of the
But
line.
we ain't gonna go in the dark with the burnout, we're gonna shut it down.
And then the band starts.
Because we got the band going, it's gonna start anyway, so.
Okay.
Right, there's,
And that would be a good place to, put a band on.
So it's gonna be short, I mean, it ain't gonna be when I keep that there like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
We're not gonna do that.
talking about the main
mhm,
We ain't for sure what time we're gonna start it, but
let's see,
I know it will be done before dark. It's just that.
yeah,
Okay,
That's good.
okay.
Allow this.
Yeah,
Derek made a motion,
Right,
and then he wants to allow the Centennial.
Could we wait until,
right through here, we got 2 lines.
wait until these
Water lines are
two?
short.
Because Bruce knows a lot about the things that are underground. That might be,
Probably about 4
well, it's only gonna be that.
probably shouldn't be, but I don't.
This,
Yeah.
this is gonna be
Carolyn, did you
probably
check on
6
the
inch.
letter? Where it is?
It's 12 o'clock, just like it is for the tractor pull. Yeah. Whatever your license says on it is what it is.
Right.
And it's, every year it's 12 o'clock, right?
We tried out the letter.
You'll see
Yeah.
those lines. I seen it last year.
No one gets dry.
Do it.
Burnout.
Burnout pit in the future, whatever that's,
I think that's a good spot, because if they ever abandon that situation, or ever have again,
Yeah,
you could put a pavilion up like there, that'd be a good spot for a pavilion.
okay. Is that ready to take a vote here?
All right, now, well, wait, we got a motion, we gotta get a second.
I'll second it.
yeah, she already said.
All right, second. Okay, let's go through roll call. Where we at here? Jane?
Yes.
Michael?
Yes.
Danny?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
5-0, motion carries.
Do you guys want to keep a copy of this at all, or?
I don't think so.
Keep
Well,
one?
yeah, we'll keep one, you can have it.
All right.
You put it on the wall and all.
And then for that weekend, we were going to come through Clay Custer's lot for traffic, entering and exiting for the vehicles. He's gonna let us go through his
That
lot
night?
all weekend.
All weekend?
Yeah. And then, like during the day the tractor pull, was gonna make all the tractor pullers come up the regular road. That way, cars aren't pulling out on this.
Yeah, you won't have so much.
One more
congestion.
Yeah.
Normally,
Pulling out, in and out.
a clay we use
For a
for
little more room to
cars.
see. So you close that other road down.
Huh?
Close the cemetery road down, it's a park road.
Oh, this road.
Yeah,
Road.
I got you.
We're gonna have bounce houses and stuff for kids and a petting zoo in the actual fenced-in area. On Friday night, it was gonna have a band.
in the big pavilion or on the tractor pull section.
The Friday night band, I think they was
We've
gonna
got
put it
stage.
by the pavilion.
Staged like it was last
Like
year,
it was last year.
towards
Yeah,
the
there
sewer
was,
plant.
we had a stage with trees. Trees.
All right.
Mhm. Then Saturday night, we're gonna have the band out by the tractor pull track.
This is all weather permitting.
I was gonna say weather permitting.
Yeah, it's on the-
Hopefully it'll be a good weekend. Hopefully it'll be a nice weekend.
And we're making a snow fence walkway from the picnic area to the old park area. Keep it safe. And we're thinking we're gonna have a golf ball drop too. And that we're gonna do that over here probably. If it all comes to.
For what
Where are we gonna find set of fireworks off if you have?
Okay, that's a good question. We was wondering that too. On the other side of the lake, there used to be a road around,
Is
There's
that
mud,
road?
there's a
There
road.
used to be.
There, I think there's still a road.
It's
there.
back there, but you might have to do some trimming
Yeah.
and taking out some scrub brush to get back there, but it's still there.
Okay, we need, I guess, if that's okay, if we could do that, is clear that out and make a spot over there for that.
Keep it away from everybody.
What was your question? Dave?
No, I was asking.
Fireworks.
Oh, fireworks,
You
okay.
gotta go across the dam.
Yes, I know, I know what he's talking about, I didn't hear his
I've been
question.
back there before.
Fireworks,
It might take a little clearing to get back there to that open area, but it used to be back there.
it used to be.
When there wasn't no picnic table back there.
Yes,
On that side.
Butch, is that road still open back there? You can't hear me.
Hey Bruce, is the road behind
The
that?
lights
Butch,
talking at you.
is that road still open there on the other side of the?
It's
have you
rolled
been-
up and.
It's rolled up, okay.
Rutted and water brush, got it. It's
Eroded.
pretty, it's bad shape.
Pretty rough.
Pretty rough, okay.
If it dries up, it could be,
Maybe
We
it
got-
dries up.
there's a big pile of
I
dirt
mean,
right
you ain't
there.
talking like a lot of people
Right.
going back,
Yeah.
it's just,
A couple of trucks and we're set.
Yes, that's the,
But you could get a side by side or something like that.
You guys hiring somebody for the fireworks?
I think so. Well,
Depends.
It's in the
They're
works.
expensive.
Probably get it back from-
that's still in
Yeah,
process.
really good. Across the city over there.
That'd be kinda cool.
And it's all right.
hopefully across the water.
Do that
there,
first.
Yeah.
That'd be nice to shoot it all across the lake.
Yep.
So when it's going in the lake, like they do at Lake Sarah, they set.
Which way is it?
You know, you see more on boats.
Yeah, I always thought that'd be a good idea.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But, yeah, once again.
They shoot it up towards the town.
All right.
Okay, now done. Is that all right? Any more, committee, any more questions?
You guys got anything else to ask Tony and them guys?
No, I'm
Everybody satisfied with the information and so forth? All right.
Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
thanks, Tony.
All right. You'll be here before we know it, right?
You're right about that.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Too much stuff.
I'll be over the next couple of days.
Sounds
You around?
Yeah.
Because I got a check made out.
Thursday I'll be working now.
Okay, so I'll come before that.
Sounds good.
Let's talk about the roads that we want to do this year. Once again, I don't know if, I never did get Bob Wessendorf's phone number from David. And get a commitment from him when he thinks they might be able to come and do. Do you know, Bruce, if he said?
I don't think you would commit from,
Maybe not,
I don't
but,
think you will.
yeah, okay.
So it's
Do you
just
think
if
you
they
give me
have-
a roundabout answer, Mike?
If it's just if they have time.
Yeah. Well, if they don't, then you guys are gonna have to get some road patch and do some of the,
Well, we'll have to do that anyway.
I know. But, and then we can, I guess, go ahead and oil some if we want to. So,
So that
again,
was real bad.
huh?
Real bad.
Yeah, I know, especially coming off Blacktop and driving in there, there's a lot of, chuck holes and stuff. Not to be confused with woodchucks. Dang, woodchucks, quit chucking my wood. Okay. You guys haven't seen the commercial, I see. All right.
Yeah, stupid one.
So, yeah, there's a bad one coming off on my street too. So
A
anyway.
woodchuck or a pothole?
Actually, we had a woodchuck, or no, groundhog once back there behind the motel at one time.
Lake Road's banned, so we,
The Lake Road as in Clay's Road, or Lake Road as in going to the lake?
No, frontage road.
The
No,
front.
I'm talking about the lake road.
He's talking about the lake
You
road.
might, yeah, I was talking about
Place.
frontage road.
Both these.
The approach off of the blacktop onto his road, yeah, it's bad.
Like, our part of the state's part, it's a part, the first part of that should be partially state.
Yeah, well, you do have to work on it. We've done it for the last time in how many years. And the bad part about it is because his trucks, even though they're not loaded,
They're still.
when they come up to the stop sign, it's like a war sport. So, short of grinding that off, you're not gonna correct that. Just not. So, the best we can do is to fix the potholes and that kind of stuff and oil over it. So, until we find out from Bob, see if they think they're going to get around to us. Oh, by the way, before I forget about it, in the very near future, they're supposed to start work on the blacktop here from here to Dietrich. And exactly what they're going to do,
You need to research the whole thing, but it needed to.
well, I think that's what they're going to do. Huh?
If we can speak up as the village and get some of those millings and
They've
stockpile.
already been spoke for.
Really?
Because David is going to get some of them for the township, isn't he?
Probably for storing it there.
Or for storing it there.
Payment for letting them use it for
But
storing.
other than that, we're sucking the hinder one again, you know. So if we can get some, we'll try.
That'd be good stuff to put on the lake, around the lake road and places.
That's what I was gonna say. What we had before, we did put on some of the places out there at the lake, and it held up pretty good. So, anyway, all right, we'll get to that as soon as we get some kind of an idea from Effingham County on theirs. So, okay, we agreed on the water treatment, or, no, we didn't, did we? We haven't taken a vote on that yet. Okay, with EJ, we need a motion to become partners with EJ. And you guys all have in the minutes all the, everything that they offered, what they're gonna do. And if you agree to it, then we need a motion and we need to vote on it. Is there any questions on it?
He's been pretty thorough with this, he's went over everything,
Eric's a big talker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He talks a lot. Yeah, if he gets paid for every word that he speaks, he may do very well.
I'd much rather have referral than.
Oh,
Anyway,
Right.
is there any questions on any of it?
I don't. To me, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Right.
It wasn't for the fact that EPA, I'd say, we go on plan it. 5 years down the road, it can come back in and do this, that's, and the other.
Right. And it is. And honestly.
Anytime you do that, you're under the new regulations,
Yeah.
not under a
Nobody wants to see the water that's good.
No.
And we're $9, $10.
We're at the verge of either, we can barely make enough water now. Not that we're gonna grow, but if our wells keep deteriorating, let's say, or not refilling as fast or whatever, we're gonna be in a world of hurt.
Well, I think project, but something else I got to think about that too, is what happens, to do with it, have it real quick and shut that off. Cap that.
Yeah, they would do something to those,
Because the
cabinets
cabinets is
that are there.
underwater, it will shift it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Would have no water at all.
It could, yeah,
True.
we could.
And then it can eruption.
No, that's a good point, Danny, I never thought of that.
What is that fault that we're on?
Saying, or,
What's it called?
Yeah, I
What
know.
is it
We're
called?
on the fault line.
Meridian?
It's something like that.
Yeah, Meridian Fault.
Meridian, isn't that what it is? Isn't that what it is? I'm thinking.
I know it ain't the same as Rick.
Same with red or something.
That's the one I-
That's the one we have.
Is that the one that's in California?
So, okay,
Like I said, unless we get somebody to sell ground to start building more houses. And until we get people to come in and start living in the vacant lots and the vacant houses we have, we're not, right, we're at what, 120 meters now, probably?
that right?
We used to be 200 and some meters, I think, long time ago.
Scheduled for 126, but we're not running 126.
Right.
10.
Right.
So I don't think we'll ever get up to a 200 meter status, And the only other thing that would bring us more water would be another industrial kind of business
Something,
that would
yeah.
use a lot of water and.
The question is, could we be able to supply it?
Could we, no, we can't. Not the way our wells are right now, no. Maybe
just-
20 years ago when the wells flowed a little better, probably, yeah, maybe. If we
Well,
made
You'd
a
have to
pump
buy
and bigger
property
system,
too.
right?
You'd have to buy the property from the farmers, because they're not just gonna
To
take.
put another
give up
well
the-
in, right.
Right.
If we try to hit that same vein in a different spot, deeper.
Well, according to David, it's like in chambers.
Right.
One chamber is a
It
little bit
goes like-
better than the other one.
Yeah.
It's the same way with that line of oil that runs north, like up here, by Roslyn and runs through there.
Yeah,
That's the way it works. If you get the right spot,
you're
you're
good,
good with it.
you're golden,
Ours
yeah.
is empty.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
So did you find out about the ground out there?
Oh, yeah, what did we find out about?
It's ours.
it's ours. Yeah,
It's ours, and Clay's okay with everything out here, right? I'm
we
assuming.
went out and talked to him, Lee, and came in on Friday.
Friday night, Friday evening.
Yeah, Friday evening. And Bruce and Dave came out with me, and we were looking at everything, and we decided that the southeast corner of the park, where the road comes straight in from the blacktop and goes straight east,
All the way back.
and then curves back around.
Mhm.
Well, it's right there. On that curve, right there, yes. That southeast corner, right there is a perfect spot for the pump house.
On his property, on our
Ours,
side?
on the park,
Be on the north side of the road.
yes.
Okay.
The only thing that we'll have to get with Clay is to come off of that line there at his place to that corner, correct?
The easement.
Yeah, you are
He
right.
got to run a 6-inch line from
And then,
There and
your line
back.
to there.
There and back.
No, then they'll just tap out back into our 4-inch line and send it back down.
Oh, the four, okay.
That's where that 4-inch line comes in at, right there.
Oh,
there might be some 2-inch lines out there in the park that when they pressure this up, we may have a few leaks here and there, but they'll be out the park.
that run towards the sewer plant, you mean?
Yes, right? Like,
Anything that Penny cobbled up out there, we will find.
yes. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So, anyway,
So that way we don't have to worry about easement or nothing, it's all on our property.
we don't have to
Fenced
pay
in.
anybody anything, it's all ours.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
The only thing that we'll have to talk with Clay and, is.
We'll just have to fix the yard when we're done, probably trenching
Yeah,
across.
sure. Put everything back the way it was, and then we'll have no problems. He was willing to let us put it on the far east of his property if necessary.
Oh,
But as we got to looking at things and the way the line runs and
yeah.
everything.
The power's right there behind his building is where the power poles come in, so power's right there.
Well, that's what we're thinking too.
Yeah, we have really no.
So, yeah,
And that's still Norse out there, right? Is he on Norse or Ameren up to his building? That's Norse too?
yeah. So, as soon as we pointed out that spot or whatever, Lisa, that'd be a perfect spot. Good access to it and everything.
No, I'm assuming since it's the end of construction, I mean, it's us right now, but then we turn right back and sell it to them for $1 for the next 40 years. But for insurance purposes, it'd be ours until it's transferred to them.
To completion.
Yeah.
To
because
completion and accepted by EPA, and then we sell it to them.
Right, so the insurance, everything, we can pay for it for right now.
Right.
Okay. Then it'd be on them to insure the building, since it'd be.
Yes,
for them?
it's their building then.
Right, so
They're
everything,
responsible for
upkeep,
insurance.
They're responsible for
everything.
Okay.
And coming off there, like when they're saying, putting a fence around it and roading it, graveling, if there isn't much, where that's gonna go.
really.
You
Is
don't
it,
have much distance to get in there.
no, you don't.
No, that road might
And it's
have.
flat, and it's really flat there.
Yes.
It's pretty flat there, so you won't have to build
We
it.
might have to remove the tree.
Oh.
Less trees out
But
there than that.
depending on what kind of equipment they're gonna bring in there, that road might need some help. That's not the best road out there. So, yeah.
It needs it anyway, I hear you.
Yeah, I agree. So,
Biggest spot for the milling. You need to
Well,
it
squeeze
would be
it.
if we could get it.
We
But
can
see,
sweet
there's
talk
too many
somebody,
people are
I
kind of
figured out that
already.
they're a good thing to get
Yeah.
and helps out on the roads. So if David has any access to it and we can talk him out of some of it,
Right.
we'll see. See
Will
what
it
we
be
do.
are they gonna put a fire hydrant right there too, probably?
I would think so, yes.
I wish they would, just for a simple
A
fire.
fire hydrant?
Yeah, if we wanted to go there
To fill.
to fill, if we're north of town or something, it would be an easy place to get in and out of, to go fill that.
Mm-hmm.
You see, on that corner right there, we was always wanting to put our dry hydrant out there,
Right.
and we never got around to it, because somebody stole our pipe that was laying out by the building. So we gotta get some more pipe, and it was donated to us, it was free, and somebody stole it, so. But we were gonna put it right on that corner, to where you could pull in, fill, and then dry it out.
See what you
I'm
say?
gonna have to ask him about that and whether or not there'd be any kind of complications about, sucking it dry or whatever. Collapse line or whatever.
Well, we would never suck at it, it would just be pressure like a regular pipe.
Hydrant is what they're saying.
Okay.
But it'd probably be pretty slow, because you're relying on EJ's tower coming around that way, or our tower pushing.
Right, and then, but he, like, what?
Why don't you guys ever suck it out of the lake?
We can, but we never had the opportunity to.
Because it,
So you have a,
That's why we wanted to put a dry hydrant right here.
I understand why. It'd be easy access.
But we've never had the
material.
reason to do it, we've never had that big a fire to do it.
Right,
Hopefully we don't in town.
yeah.
So,
Oh, hope so too.
yeah.
But I thought Eric said that if we would open a hydrant, that tower, and it knew that we were pulling water, those automatic valves will open and start to do their fill from there. I don't know, we can ask them about
And that would speed up filling a truck
it. Right.
by far, yeah, because it would be pulling water down the line from.
I'd like to really help you on that.
I was gonna say, Bruce.
He said, the pumps get gone out there with the strike, you'll hook in your hydrant and then the call for water and the pumps get gone, you'll have 70 PSI out there for you.
Okay.
That's why he said you'll find the leaks, because
Oh,
we're running about 55,
Okay.
and it's gonna shoot it up to 70.
Okay.
Yes.
So I think that'll fill your truck.
Okay, yeah, that'd fill it faster than the normal EJ hydrant would, yes. Because
Yeah.
that's what I asked him that day when you were up here, we're backfeeding into town, are we gonna overpressure everybody?
And that's what he said, the pressure.
And he said no.
The pressure regulating valves are designed to do what he,
Right.
like an altitude valve, I like to call it,
Right.
what I can call it.
You know what I'm saying, pushing back this way, going through people's meters.
Well, technically, all the new meters are supposed to have a backflow preventer that doesn't allow anything to come back from theirs that you can't pull from their house. That's another
I'm
problem.
saying pushing, we're pushing water from that pump house this way.
Yeah, but it's checked out, so we can never suck anything. We're not supposed to be able to suck something from a person's house.
Well, I'm not saying suck though, but we're gonna be putting, instead of putting, what do we say, 55 pounds of pressure coming out of our tower, and they say we're putting 70 this way, okay? You're pushing 70 pounds into their house now instead of 55 coming out of the tower, overpressuring them.
He didn't say anything about being in town center, just out the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the pumps are right there.
Right there, okay. Because that's, I asked you about that one time about overpressuring,
The system,
coming back this way. Yeah, overpressuring
we can ask about the hydrant if you want.
people's stuff in the house, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm talking to him tomorrow morning, so I told him I would try and give him the result on the vote. And I can ask him about this hydrant.
And I don't remember if I got to ask Eric that or not that night, but,
What?
or about that, putting 70 pounds back this way, or whatever.
Which way it's coming in. Well, actually, the tower is the tower in our system is what determines the pressure within our system. Not, they're just
Right,
gonna be
but-
bringing, with them, all it is like you turning on a faucet, shut the faucet off. That's the only way I can explain how the valve works.
Okay.
You know, when we're pulling for water, it's calling for it, it's gonna open it up, and there'll be,
But see, there's not gonna be a separate line from that pump to our tower. We're using a line that's already coming from our tower that goes through all these people's houses, probably orders and whatever way that line runs.
okay.
Okay, you're pushing more than tower pressure back towards town to refill our tower. So that's putting more pressure in these lines coming back to town. Does that make sense? Than our tower normally is. So we're pushing, say we're pushing 70 PSI coming back to town, and we normally push 55 PSI going
From
out
the tower,
towards
from the
Clays.
tower. It's,
Okay.
I understand what you're saying. That's
So when
what-
it comes by Donnie Ordner, just pushing 70 pounds of PSI into
It
his
may,
place.
they may have it that it's regulated when it's coming out of that thing, that it's set at 50, and that it's set at 55.
I'm just going by what he said about having 70 out there.
At the,
At the pump,
at the pump.
okay.
After the pump, they will normally soften his. Right, that's what I'm saying, something, so it doesn't bounce it.
I just wanna make sure we don't start blowing stuff up in people's houses because we're putting more pressure on the
Well,
lines.
I
that we-
think
They're not
that's-
gonna do that. They're gonna come in anyway, if we go to them, they're gonna come in and clean out these lines and everything, and, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, okay, we've had a lot of old meters and a lot of old lines in town that's been running off of tower pressure, and you're backfeeding more pressure.
And it's a different quality of water, you'll get that at anytime you do a change. When we went from well water to Chicago water in Homewood, we had 45 main breaks in 2 days.
Right.
So we were,
That's what I don't wanna get us involved in and
we
start
were moving.
rupturing people's lines after the meter or people's connections in their houses start, you know, because we're putting a little more pressure in anytime that pump's running. It might not affect anybody over here,
I don't
but it's
believe
gonna
it should.
affect people from here.
I don't, because the tower is what's gonna be telling when to turn it on. We'll have to talk to them about that, okay? But I don't think that should be
You
a
kinda
problem.
understand what I'm getting at, though.
You don't wanna overpressurize the system.
Coming back in through the towns, because to me, there's not gonna be a separate line coming up from that pump to our tower, so we're backfeeding everything.
You're pushing everything to the meter, plus you're pushing to their houses.
Yes, because the pump's running.
Right.
Right, so you're giving them more pressure
But coming out of that pump, they probably got a pressure regulator.
to slow it.
Slow it down to 55 pounds, that'll feed our tower and keep us.
At the normal pressure.
That's what normally.
I would understand that, right.
Mhm.
So you're saying you don't want to push 70 pounds from the pumps,
Backfeeding
Tower.
yes.
because you're pushing in
You're pushing out everybody's houses.
before it hits
to
the tower.
Correct,
That's
that's,
what you're saying.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So when he said 70 PSI out there, I kind of thought, okay, I don't know what our tower puts, and then we're putting more pressure, so.
Alright,
but-
okay,
And it might not affect a thing. I don't know.
right.
So I make a motion to go easy. Is that what you want?
I second.
I'm sorry, I got.
Wait a minute, let me do this.
That's
Derek,
it.
DJ water agreement, we're gonna call it, right?
Those are things I think of when I can't sleep at night. I'll be laying there and going, no, okay, we're putting a pump out there, and we're pushing water back towards, through everybody's line.
You're thinking too much.
I can't help it, that's what I do.
Alright, roll call, please. Jane?
Yes.
Just to clarify, I will ask him tomorrow.
If you have any questions, I'll be around tomorrow. You can call me, I can come.
Michael?
If you come here, you're just talking.
Danny?
Yes.
Derek?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
5-0, motion carries.
Let's see, we talked about that.
See, I don't know.
What's the JEPA compliance commitment? agreement?
That's what, with TTHM and lead. We just have to say what we're gonna do and fix it by January 10th of 2021. That we've taken our last set of samples to TTHM at Equity. That's the long line that we're having the problems with.
Okay.
And we brought it down, but we're still not. They use an average, and the last one, you double it, and then you divide by 2. So we're out by about 11. parts per million, which is 1 inch in every mile. So just think of the logic of what you're saying when I say that. We're out by 11. So we're 11 inches in a mile. I'm sorry, that's a minute amount. And then the lead samples are coming out. We have to do them again. I think some of the board members got bottles, some did not. I think you, Mary, did you get a bottle?
David said he wanted to do my house since I had new plumbing.
He can't change sites.
Oh, you can't change sites?
You cannot, don't ever do that.
That's my meeting on that.
Yeah, but because when I put the names in, I put them in, the EPA chose who, because of the age of the house and things like that.
Get me one from Mom's house. It's got new plumbing, but it's old. They won't know it's got new plumbing.
You can't do that. But I have to have those in by the 31st, April, I believe. And we have to do that, so we get back into compliance. We're feeding orthophosphate, that's all that means.
If we
Carol,
get, if we get good lead samples in town, but we're still getting bad lead samples.
no, it's not, that's chlorine out
That's
there.
chlorine out there.
The lead's in town,
Chlorine's
is
out
out there because of the long run. You think about it. And if EJ, I believe Eric said that if we have him out there, he'll put a loop in there to stop that dead end that we have out there. It'll loop it so the water will move. What it's doing is once it hits Mellendorf's out there, Scott, over that one, there is only 3 other people on that service, or 2, and then you get to equity. You know what I mean? And they're a seasonal company, you know, guys know that, they can take it in a minute, they can take it now. So that's what that's all about. So we got the agreement, the compliance is just normal EPA stuff. Tony?
Roads to do. You haven't figured out what roads you want to do yet?
Well, last thing was Montgomery, I know
What
Montgomery
road you
was one
want?
of them.
Montgomery.
Oh.
Post office road or?
Yeah,
But, yeah, that one for sure.
I gotta be in.
Huh?
I gotta be in pretty soon, April.
they have to be in, they won't allow our money to come out till we determine what road we want to do, well, and also an audit I had to turn into them, to tell how much we spent last year on road and bridge, or for motor fuel, and we spent nothing, because county never came in, and we never did any asphalt work. So we have all that money, but I had to still send in the paperwork to say.
Maybe we'll take all the money that we got, since Montgomery's always the one that seems to get tore up the worst, and have the damn thing blacktop. Well,
You could mill it down 2 inches and put a layer on top. I mean,
How much did that?
I don't know what the heck, if you just look at that road, when you come off of Meade, the one I live on, and you get as close, or you go to Maxine's old house, you can tell right there, all the traffic turns onto that road. You can tell, just look at the roads.
School bus is probably one of them, garbage truck. you know.
Yeah. But if
With
you
the way
just,
we have our garbage cans now, the garbage truck almost goes through town twice. You know,
yes,
notice
he
that?
does.
So
He
we're
goes on
wearing,
my street twice. He
We're
goes
in
down
the
that way
town.
and turns around and comes back this
you
way.
know, pretty much twice.
But what I'm saying is if you go from the east-west and just look at the road, you can
School
tell what
bus.
is traveled the most.
Because does the school bus come down this road and then turns and goes
I don't
around?
know.
If it
School
comes
bus
down
comes down
Meade
my
and
street.
it comes
Down or around, or they go around that way.
corner, yeah. I think it-
Sometimes it comes and picks up Morgan, other times I see it turn at the church and comes.
I was gonna say, sometimes it turns at the church, I think, too, but
Somewhere.
it comes by our house every
Yeah,
day.
it comes down Meade and goes
Yeah.
back.
And then
right
it either
back
goes
to
up
Blacktop.
Oak or goes Maple.
Mhm.
So,
I'd say give them the same amount of miles we did last year.
we can do that.
And then if we got any extra, if we
We can
might,
copy-
we can always add oil to it.
We can send him a copy of a year ago.
2 years, yeah, 2 times ago,
2
because that'd be
years.
the opposite ones that we did this last time.
Well, Montgomery's always done, and then we always do frontage road. And I know there was some discussion a year ago, Lake Road, but we weren't gonna do anything because of the sewer plant being done, remember us? I remember that comment, and they were talking about trying to figure out how to do something in the middle of the cemetery. Just,
Oh, that road, yeah.
cemetery,
If It'd be nice to get that done out there and make it look nice for the
I
centennial.
agree.
But get it done before the centennial, so it's got a chance to
Settle itself
settle
down.
in.
Well, the bad part about it is, you don't know if you're gonna get somebody in here to do it for them or not.
Lake Road frontage cemetery, I know that.
I'm gonna say we have to go all the way around the whole lake, since that needs a lot of, you
Well, you need to do the main section, but they're all gonna be coming off, if what they're saying now, they're gonna be coming off
It's gonna be
Clayside.
coming in here and going,
Yeah,
so,
you got half of it there, and you got the other half with the trucks coming in.
so you've got a good, it's at least a mile around here, right?
That's, Bruce, what is it around that whole lake?
That's a mile, isn't it?
It's
Is
close
it
to
a
it.
mile?
Close to it.
Yeah.
Close to a mile.
Right, so you'd have then you do all that, you'd have half of a tanker.
More.
No, it's only 12 foot, it ain't very wide.
Well, we figure that out tomorrow or the next day or whatever, and I'll get hold of Pepper and see if we can slide him in here before the centennial, see if he'll do it because of that. And we
Well, you
can,
just want, how long it is?
huh?
Do that.
Just the lake,
Get
just
a
the lake,
distance
just
and we
take the
know-
lake.
Do
We can
the-
take that distance plus what we did two
Couple years ago,
times
okay.
ago.
You wanna do the whole lake, all from sewer plant out and then all there, basically the whole lake?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
you're gonna do,
How many miles that is, see how many miles that is and how wide. I know it narrows down as you get around the curve, but then it's probably what, 12?
how wide does he spray?
He can go up
Oh, that's adjustable.
Okay, well,
to, he
yeah,
can do it in one pass.
yes.
Around the whole lake.
So if we do that, and we do Montgomery,
We take that mileage and you check it with how many miles we did 2 times ago,
2 years ago?
and then see, or whatever it was. Subtract that many miles off of that total and see what's left, what we got left.
Okay.
And now I tell you, then we could do Montgomery for sure.
and we got in road, or motor fuel.
And we can take some out of Rosenville. We got some in Road and Bridge.
I know,
You could buy half a tanker load probably easily out of Road and Bridge, if not a whole tanker. I don't know what oil is,
okay. Dang, that's most we've had in motor fuel in years.
Well, we didn't spend it last year either.
No, it's been
you know. No,
different
you're gonna
since
take out a couple
taxes.
thousand
Yeah.
in patch mix in the county.
Right,
And
yeah.
whatever we need to build up. It'd be nice if we could buy some millings off of Howe, just buy some. To
You know
put,
anybody over there?
And how?
Scott Britton. If we could go there and just buy a couple loads and tailgate on that,
I agree.
you know, and oil, and if you oil over top of that,
Oh, yeah.
and let it get hot enough. where
It's gonna stick, cause that milling's already got
It's
oil
got
in
oil
it.
in it, right, but it needs to be warm enough for it to kind of get it rolled down tight
It'd be nice if you had a roller, if you get a regular
and.
asphalt roller to roll the sucker, but we don't.
Can rent one. When I was little, they used to rent one here in town and they patched. I remember they used to patch holes and roll it down with a roller, drivable roller, when I was little.
I think I remember
Yeah, they used to patch the holes
Okay.
and roll it down, and I don't know whose roller it was, but I remember it. I was little. His dad was one did it. That's when he worked for the town.
So it's Montgomery, the whole lake,
Mm-hmm.
and, did frontage, or that was question, I had a question on that.
I want to say, part of the beginning of the frontage road, not, how was it in front of Clay's? I haven't been down there.
It's okay after you get onto, it's all right.
The first 100,
So we can
But
oil
the
the first,
approach coming off the blacktop, yeah.
patch the approach and oil the approach, up past the workboards, kind of smooth that out.
How far do you think, Bruce, on frontage road?
Well, there's just a few spots on the frontage road going to Clays, but then you get over on the other side of Clays, right there, where David takes over, there's a few spots there too.
there, yeah, there's some,
Okay.
We could oil the beginning and oil the end, middle good.
Yeah, he'll go down there.
You're down there anyway.
You want to do
just oil
20
the-
feet, he'll do 20 feet.
No.
We'll figure it all out, and, we'll see what we come up with, and hopefully maybe if I use the excuse that, hey, Pepper, can you come in and do this so it's nice for the centennial, maybe you'll do it. Maybe you'll do the same.
Now, I know we've been using gravel for used to use white rock every once in a while.
Yeah,
And it always looked nicer.
yeah,
But it don't, it don't.
and it's
roll up.
stuck better,
It sticks better, it don't roll off.
yeah,
But, yeah, it breaks down faster, or wears off faster,
yeah.
but
But what's the difference between wearing off or rolling to the side of the road?
you lose it anyway, right?
Yeah.
So,
At least it crunches and wears into the
It makes a
ground.
better surface with white rock, to me, it does. After it's been traveled on several times, it's just better surface.
you can get prices on rock, I'm sure,
We
like
might,
gravel's gonna be cheaper.
well, yeah, it always is, pea gravel's
Gravel, yeah.
always cheaper.
Mhm.
Um,
I don't know what 2 years.
We'll see what we come up with, and we'll look at taking care of it in the very near future. So, okay,
I'd say I okay, turn it in. Turn it, go ahead and turn it in.
Yeah.
To the, whatever, IDOT, turn it in, line,
talk to Greg Palmer. What are you saying? Yeah,
Okay,
we're gonna go to closed session.
okay.
So, any other questions on anything, guys?
Are we, do we have any money left from the sewer thing?
No, we spent it all. We spent it all.
Oh,
David brought it to me about, since we don't have enough room to store everything, we talked about this, on the east side,
we talking about a storage cabinet?
well, on the east side of our
We already
shed,
talked about
digging it down and putting some rock in. On the east side of the building that's
Yeah.
there, cause it slopes.
it, yeah.
He asked me if it'd be possible to dig that out and put rock. I said, yeah, I'll dig it out, but then you're gonna have to get some skirt boards,
Yeah.
To keep, so you don't
so the stuff that's underneath that floor doesn't
Yeah.
come down, yeah.
And as long as you keep putting skirt boards down, you can go down as deep,
Yeah.
that deep, put some rock in, and then if it's low enough, you can just put a lean-to on there, have a place to put tobacco or the extra stuff. But
That was never said to me.
he just asked me tonight if I thought it was possible to do it. I said, no, I think it's possible. We
But
want
is
to
it
try.
practical? Is what I'm trying to think. Is there any spot that we could put?
It'd be cheaper than building a whole building, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
In
saying,
the long run, what's more practical, the building?
It would last,
It's more
it
practical.
would last as long
why
as
couldn't
it.
you put it in front of, on the east side of that building?
That's what I mean on the east side.
Well, it doesn't really go down.
Yeah, it drops off considerably.
No, on the back side, but I'm talking the east side of that building where that garage is at.
Mhm.
Between the garage and that fence,
Mhm.
you could put a lean-to that way and not have to really put any.
That's what I'm saying on the east side of that building.
Yeah, but you don't have to, you don't have to, it doesn't peer down till you get way past, about 10 feet past the building does it start to go down. On that big garage. I cut the grass,
Yeah, I don't.
so that section there, you could put a lean-to, but digging down, I don't really think you would need to, maybe just grade it.
Just get it down low enough that you can get the lean-to on without hitting back in the back of it, without.
How tall?
You can put the.
You're
High, I'm going
you're gonna have to dig down in order to get that boom in there for.
You can fold the boom down like we do in here, you only need, what's that, over 12 foot?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can fold the boom down and pack it in and get in a 12-foot hole.
is it gonna be long enough for, how long is that building out there, Bruce?
It's 30 or 40 foot long, ain't it?
It's not 40.
30, at least it's probably 30.
It's 20 by 30 at the most.
You can fit it. Because David said it'll fit inside the one that's out there, just gotta clean all the crap out of it.
Well, what do we keep all that crap for?
All I know is that there's that pump, and he said that zero turns out there this year instead of up here, but we've always talked about putting something out there to store.
Yeah,
put more
I
stuff.
agree, we did.
And that
And
would
we
be,
talked about putting a lean-to on that building also.
right,
Uh,
because you wouldn't have to keep, if you put a lean-to, you wouldn't have to keep the pitch of the roof the same, you could flatten it out a little bit more and get
The
you
only thing I
high.
was worried about was whether or not the backhoe would fit in there. But if we dig it down like you're
If
saying,
you lower the dirt, as long as you don't get lower than out here by the road, so the
That's
water
right.
runs back to it.
because
But-
otherwise you're gonna pool water in it.
Because, well, now, the skirt, David said the skirt board that you can see now is already, you can see part of the concrete floor on that side, right? Maybe, you can see part of the concrete floor there.
Probably a little bit, yeah.
Right, so you're already, if you can see that floor, you know, the height of that, is I got a 10-foot door on that one? Probably, maybe 10 foot high.
I don't know.
You just have to do some measuring. I just thought I'd bring it up.
I said the same thing here a while back when we were, me and Bruce and David were talking about some kind of building out there to put the equipment in. And I did come up with that idea about putting a lean-to on that building. I kind of got shot down. What? And now David's asking, because David's the one that shot me down.
Well, he brought it up to me earlier
I
about it.
guess I figured out how to make things with him. You put the idea in his head, and then 2 months later, he thinks it's his idea.
Oh my gosh, okay.
You figured him out.
All
I
right,
figured him out.
all right, so we'll have to look at the lean-to situation.
There's a lot of guys like that.
I can go look at it and see if I think it'll work. I mean,
Yeah, if you're not.
I need to tape measure to see how, you know, what it is now.
I'm sure we got the tape. And I'm sure you probably carried one too in your job.
I got 5 or 6 of them.
Okay, we'll check into that, and, yeah, we don't have any money from the sewer. or
I
anything,
couldn't remember if we spent the rest of it on.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
we
we-
But we're getting the solar panel money back, right?
But that's we gotta put the first $7,000 back into it, what is it? It was 7, is what we had to pay out, but then we had to pay those 2 other commission fees. We had to pay a $1,400 application fee and something else, so it was close to $10,000 that we
Yes.
have to get back into general before we can start putting it back to sewer.
We have to pay ourselves back before we can go and spend it on something else.
Gotta take general back.
Yeah. So,
We can do baby steps, we don't have to do it all
Oh, yeah.
at once, we could get the dirt dug down and put some rock in, and then you can always just park the back over there then it's
Yes.
close in case you gotta jump it or.
and if it's on the east side of the building, if it does storm or anything, it usually comes from the north and the northwest, so it'll be protected somewhat.
Something like that.
So, yeah. Okay. All right, anything else you want to
I'll
talk
make a
about?
motion, we go into executive session.
What is the exemption you're going to use to go into closed session for?
What do you mean?
In order to go into closed session, you have to use a specific exemption,
Personnel.
okay? Board raises do not count as personnel. If you read the closed session act of the Open Meetings Act, it states specific employees. A board salary does not constitute that.
Well, I'll be.
I didn't know either.
Well, there was one other thing, but that's okay.
What is it?
It wasn't on there. Actually, the other thing was whether or not, instead of waiting for, say, our water plant to fall on a split face, would we consider going to EJ a little bit earlier than before the whole project is completed? And let them take care of all the treatments and everything. And he even said if there was extra chemicals and stuff out there, that maybe they would, I gathered, or he implied that they would like buy it from us. I don't know if that's possible. Is it? So, anyway, just an idea. He said he wants to, because we have this one excursion, he wants to know if we want him to speak for the EPA for us. And I said, well, as far as I know, I'd probably be okay, but I'm gonna talk to the people here and find out from them.
You mean talk to them in our favor as to letting us hold off until we get this
Yes,
switch taken
yes,
place?
yes.
Yes.
Stay,
But if-
keep using our plant.
Yeah, we keep using it, but what we're saying is that if something goes to the wall.
Terribly south, we just
Right,
turn
you
the
can
valve
just go
on.
on there and go on
Yes.
an emergency permit till the boat till the full
Think
booster
it's-
is back on to us.
I think he stated, didn't he?
Yeah, yes, that's what some towns have done that, but he wants to, you
The
know,
only thing we would have trouble with is EJ.
Well, he said, he said, before I talk to you tomorrow morning, or we'll get back to you, he said, I know that Equity is one of your big customers, and I said, yeah, we don't want to lose them at all. And he said, I want to check into a few things before I tell you I can do this completely, and that you could go to us without any problems. And I said, okay, that's fine, find out for us, let us know.
Yeah, if the EPA will let us keep using it, since they know our game plan.
yes. And
We're still in okays.
We're in,
we're
but we're under the watchful eye again.
Oh,
There's
that's true, that's it, so.
Yeah, you know what it's like when we're at the sewer plant, once we got under that microscope, we didn't get to come out.
You're never gonna come out until you do something completely different.
Yes.
That's just the way it is.
They're okay with us keep going, but they suggested that we get it fixed.
Yes, and in the proposal I did say we have a time frame of 18 to 20 to 28 months of going to EJ, you know, but we still, at that point, it was still a talking stage. We hadn't made all these last month and a half changes. So,
Yeah, if Eric wants to, go ahead and
he can speak.
speak to the
Just hold
EPA
up.
Okay.
on our behalf.
Yeah, okay. I guess we'll wait and see what happens with the water testing and everything, and maybe it'll come to the point where we do need to go. Just open up the valve and
Go with it, guys. You mean, if there were under too much scrutiny,
we'd be,
Right.
we'd be okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you wanna talk about races?
I don't think you want to. I'm fine.
I don't know. Somebody brought it up to me.
don't look at me. Right, I don't do it.
This is just the board, not our employees or anything, this is
Just
just.
the board. The appropriation is in May. That's when you get the,
But in order to be able to do it 120 days
you
before
have,
you
you
elect it.
gotta do a raise 180 days before the next election. It will not go into effect until the next election. And then whoever runs this next election
Yes.
as a new term will get the raise.
Yeah, we won't.
No.
I'm just saying, that's the way it works.
When's the last time we did it? Has it been a while?
Yeah.
It's been as long as I've been on here, guys, you guys.
I don't remember.
It was $20 for probably 30 years.
And then you went to.
And we finally brought it up, didn't we, Dan,
Yeah.
when we were on board together?
30?
And we
$30
got,
per
we got a
meeting.
raise, but I don't know, we didn't get one right away, or did you? And I didn't, one or the other.
Yeah, we didn't get, we had to wait till the following
We had
term came back.
the following, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So part of you guys will get a raise, and the other part will have to wait until their term is up and they run again. Or whoever takes their place. Excuse me. So,
$30 a meeting for the first year.
Can we afford it?
I think
I
we
do
could,
think
I think we could afford to give each one of you another $10 anyway.
10 bucks a meeting?
That's not that much. I'm just saying. And it's just for an hour and a half of your time a month anyway.
Sometimes we'll go to some meetings.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
I always said you do this, you don't do it for the money. You do it for the money.
Right.
That's right. But I do think the mayor, if the mayor does what they're supposed to do, they should get a raise. $75 a month is not very much. Or 75, yeah, for a month. $75 a month. Yes, but it pertains down to, I
She's
attend
here every
every
day.
meeting just like everybody else does. So,
But you do other stuff too.
Yeah, she's
You're
gone
up here a lot too.
Every morning
So
she's up
that- that-
I'm
I
here
mean,
every
that-
morning
I know,
unless I'm sick.
right.
Or I have an early appointment or something, but otherwise I'm here every morning. I pick up the mail, I make sure it is where it goes. I run, and I just, Yeah, I just do what has to be done.
Anything that does, she goes speaks to the engineer, she's here.
I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm not saying I'm gonna run again. I'm just saying, if the mayor does the job in the right way, they should get more money than that.
Somebody,
So, I guess you are included in the board members, aren't you?
who?
Or she,
Technically, she wouldn't be.
no, you're not, yeah, right, that would be in the other part, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I would think so, wouldn't it?
What are you talking about?
She
Because
is
it-
considered-
You're not considered a board member, you're
Right.
considered the mayor. Your raises will come when we give the employees a raise, right?
No,
No.
no, she is set with you guys.
You
I'm
said
elected just like you are.
Elected officials.
Sherry, you, and David.
Are appointed.
We are I'm
So they're the one, they're the employee, you're the employee.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
You guys are elected officials are different than Sherry and I being appointed.
Actually, you guys are set the same according to the statute. According to the statute, if you read it underneath 65 ILCS 55219, it says that, however, in a city not exceeding 100,000 inhabitants, which adopts this Article 5 and elects a mayor and aldermen or council as provided, the council may, in lieu of electing a clerk or treasurer as provided in the above paragraph, provide by ordinance that the clerk or treasurer or both for such city be appointed by the mayor with approval of the city council. If such officers are appointed, their terms in office, duties, compensation, and amount of bond required shall be the same as if they were elected.
So what are you saying?
That was Greek to me, I didn't understand.
It basically means that even though they're appointed, their terms, salaries, everything is set the same as what the board has set,
No, you.
If they're elected.
as if they were still elected.
Guess what? Here, take it.
They always did it as appropriation. Never mind, guys.
Yeah,
Let's just, any other board members got questions?
I'm good.
We'll just table this for right now.
Mhm.
We still have plenty of time. I'll check my municipal book and I will find out exactly what, and if I need to, I will talk to Carrie Hertzel and find out what the scoop is. This is the way we've always done it before, and saw no reason not to do it any different. As long as you're elected, that's a different story on raises, because I've asked about that before. And it has to be done 180 days before an election. So that means that you're not really voting yourself a raise. As far as these two positions, they can be appointed by me and approved by you guys. That way that we can go outside the city limits in order to get somebody to take these two positions. You can't go outside the city limits for a board member. They have to be a resident to the village.
For at least a year.
For at least a year, yes. So, the way I read it, as far as these two positions are, they get a raise whenever the appropriation comes around.
Whenever
Just like Bruce and David.
that's the way I would.
They are employees of the town and they are not elected by the citizens.
That's the way I done it.
And that's the way I read it in the
You've been
book.
on longer.
He wants to tell me I'm wrong, but that's the way I read it in the book.
That's fine.
And I also talked to Carrie Hertzel about it.
Okay.
So talk to Carrie to figure it out. All right, any other?
So-
This way? Any public comment?
As far as I'm concerned, I think we've already had the public comment. So,
Marty.
Marty was agreeing with him.
Well, I do have a couple of
Okay.
things.
Go ahead.
One is, did you find out any information about the possible grant for a truck?
I'm still waiting on that. I haven't got back to Nikki yet. She was gonna check into some things. I'm supposed to get some forms from her. I'll follow up on that. And while I'm there, I'm gonna ask for some forms for grant money for playground equipment, which she said most of the time they have very little competition for that kind of money. So, and then I did hear that the Centennial Group was thinking about also giving us some money for the playground equipment after the Centennial and everything is over with. So maybe between what we can get as a grant and what they might come up with, it'd be nice to have it before the centennial, but they're gonna have enough entertainment for the kids.
So let's put it out in the park. I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
yeah, mom's house is one of the, is one of the areas.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could do something here about the memorial, like in the
Can't.
table, you can't.
They won't, the church ground won't let you.
Oh, okay,
I'm sorry, but they won't.
okay. Okay, well, I just thought since it was memorial.
It's been mentioned before, and, they just won't.
Okay.
I don't know, I don't know if they don't want the insurance or what it is on that, but,
You know, you think they just sell us that little, sell that little strip of ground to the.
dioceses don't sell ground, dearie.
I know,
He's
but
like a farmer.
it's not doing them a bit of good over there. What are they ever gonna put over there? It's so
Look at
skinny.
that, look over here between the garage, the shed back there and that house, if they hadn't put in that parking lot.
Yeah,
All we did was mow
yeah,
it. Never used it for nothing.
I know.
But I guarantee you, that's diocese owned property and they won't sell it. They might lease it to you, but they won't sell it.
Lease it for 99 years. For a dollar, you know, like Sarah
Just like
said.
the Sarah, yeah.
That'd be the other option, is to lease it.
And I
We
would,
have the-
I
we
would,
have the
I
only
would
lease.
bet $2 on that.
Well,
Just, it's not a sure bet.
right. You're in the Catholic church, you know what.
Well, no, I'm the one that did all the property work when it came to getting that piece of ground right over there for the memorial. I did the title search and everything and went through everything and talked to the guy in Springfield and the whole 9 yards. And,
Did they mention leasing back then?
no.
No. That would be great if we
Gold
could lease.
tried to buy that piece of ground from them for years.
And they didn't give it to
And I
us.
went in there and talked to them and told them what we wanted to do, and they said, well, yeah, no problem. You know what it cost us for all that? $23.50 that I had to pay up there at the title office.
Really?
That's all we had to pay for that, other than what we put on it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get the rest of that strip, you know, and for the town to put playground equipment or whatever.
Well, where the memorial is, up to that tree,
Mm-hmm.
is all the memorial ground. That's all ours, or for that, anyway. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, like I said, lease it for $1 for 99 years. And
Yeah, okay, you better, you go talk to our guy, so you can see how far that gets going, buddy.
I don't know, things have changed so much over there in Springfield since we did that, it's hard telling. I don't think it'll ever kind of fly.
it'd be nice, like I said,
Yeah,
instead of
it
having
would
to
be
take
nice.
all, you know, trying to get, you know, instead of having to walk your kids all the way.
Well,
out
I
there.
agree.
That'll be safe for the kids come up here, whereas out there by the way, and they're gonna stay.
I agree. I agree with you.
Another thing is, since we're talking about the long interstate, that sign up there, that used to advertise the line.
We've talked about it.
Clay.
Clay said, he's gonna do it, believe me, because he brought it up to me, I didn't say anything, he brought it up to me. And he said, I am going to take care of it, he said, it's just a very slow process right now. And he's just had his knee replaced right now, but
Yeah.
we talked about this some months
Yeah,
ago.
I know.
And, he even told me, if nothing else, he said, I'll paint that part of it black.
That's fine.
Something.
What was it, can he put his sign up there?
Well, maybe that's what he's thinking, and he never really
I
said.
mean, he's got the height and it's
Oh,
right
yeah.
there, why not just put his
Yeah, I
name?
Put his own sign up there.
It's just not very cheap to put that kind of
That
sign
sign
up.
up, cause you're in a crane going up there, that height to get that thing up there.
First of all, you gotta take the old one out,
Yeah.
and then put the new one in, and,
Well, unless he could get the new pieces to put in, that would fit in that same, in that frame.
well, I'm sure that's what he'll do when he does it.
Or hopefully.
He may not do anything, he may just take it out of there, or paint it black. And if he paints it black, well, that's fine then. Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about it, man, it just hasn't
Yeah,
happened
that
yet.
wind's just really starting to show havoc on it.
Yes.
That wind was starting to show havoc on it. Really
Yeah.
starting coming down part of it.
Well, he knows that, believe me. So, yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about this.
The agenda,
The ordinance for water
for
rates.
water rates.
That was a new addendum that we made that, for the raise of the water rate. This is the old one. This was written back in '06. And in 7, 8, and 9, they were supposed to take a 3% raise on the water rate. They did not do that. It's right here in this ordinance, but they did not enforce it. So Sherry took it upon herself to figure out what it would be if, and this just says up to '09. It does not say 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, any of the years, just up to '09. It goes from 7, 8, and 9, 3% raise. And, and the rate for 1,000 gallons used per month after the first 1,500 was $3.25, and then 1,000 gallons used per month after 2,500 gallons was $5. So anyway, Sherry figured it out, and if they had continued with 3% raise through the years, we'd be paying $11 a month.
$11.80, I think it was,
Yeah.
or something.
For our minimum.
For our
Yeah.
minimum.
And we're only 10 something now, right?
It's gonna be, yeah.
And it jumps up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With
But
the,
And
we
that's
had to put a
all-
5% in on
But we had to
each
kick,
one.
yeah, we had to kick it a
Yeah.
big time to catch up.
And everybody.
I mean,
thinks
we
we're
lost a
10%.
lot of revenue in
Right.
those years if they would have continued with that increase, or with that minimum increase.
yeah,
But everybody looks
It's
at
a
their,
little bit of a big jump.
everybody looks at their water bill and forgets that it's 3 different things that you're paying for.
Right.
If you look at the top line, it says your water usage and your price of your water, it's pretty damn cheap.
We were cheapest.
Yeah.
I explained that to Eric the next day. I said, Eric, you're only paying $10 and something for the first 1,500 gallon. EJ's paying almost 30 for 750 gallon.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna keep our same rates. I said, we're stupid not to go with EJ.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, and I haven't had a chance to catch Lonnie out walking his dog, and I'm gonna try to explain to him the same thing, you know, because he
I
was,
tried to explain it to him that night, he didn't listen.
he just didn't understand it, I don't think.
Well, that's.
When they hear
probably
10%, and yes, we are raising it 10%, but it's only 5% on this and 5% on this. You're talking 50 cents on your minimum, and it wouldn't hurt
Less
nothing on,
than that.
less than 50 cents on your
Yeah,
overage.
yeah, that's how, that won't, that's why the agenda was, ordinance was in there, you guys, just, you know, let you guys know when we're saying something.
Right.
Yeah, I understand.
So everybody-
well, that's the new ordinance.
That's the new one, that's
This is the old one that, when they were talking about all this, I brought up the old one, the one where they were supposed to
Yeah.
enforce it back in '07, which they did not do. And so because they did not do that, I was trying to explain to them that we had to take a pretty good leap at it.
To catch up.
Yeah, to catch up.
And
What
that's-
about them that wasn't ever enforced? I just,
Probably got.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know whether they,
Well,
I didn't go
forgot,
back
you
and
know.
see if they did it the first year and then failed to do it after that.
Don't know.
We know that May 1st, every year, it's snowing in it. You know, that's how it's set now, I believe, right, Sherry? May 1st.
It's an increase, right?
Yes, it's a yearly increase.
And the way the solar panels are paying off, we might be able to take some of that $7, how much longer do we have, how many years?
Just,
2 more years, isn't it?
maybe 2 years, yeah.
Maybe 2 years, maybe we can cut that.
We have
back.
we've really gained on our surplus
Right.
because,
Because
before
of the
we were
down to nothing.
Yeah.
we were down
On
to
the
nothing.
sewer.
So maybe we can take part of that 7,
Cut it in half.
cut it in
Oh,
half
that way.
for maybe another 2 or 3 years and see how we're
Maybe we
set.
won't have to.
And maybe we just take it off completely.
Well, that was our intention to begin with.
Right.
Yeah, it's just temporary.
It's a temporary thing, right?
Yeah, for the electric bill.
Right.
But now that but we still have to make sure we pay back on the agenda
Yeah,
before we
right.
start taking money, start coming.
So now that'll ease them a little bit on their shock with their water bill, taking that $7
Yeah.
back off.
Yeah, but you don't know what with the garbage rates, you know, I don't know if we're setting that rate, how much is in the garbage fund, because we're supplementing that too.
It's okay.
All right?
And it's pretty cheap garbage, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
we were just talking about that today.
It
Like
is.
$20-some, yet maybe we don't pocket.
How much?
It's like $22.
At my house, it's $35.
At one
Oh,
time.
it's somewhere
I
around
got it on
$25,
$50 for my
Yeah,
water.
it is down, at one time, it was like $22 or whatever.
35 a month for your, so
Yes.
it's like
Yes.
$7 a week.
If you did it on your own,
Yeah.
That's
it
what it
wasn't
would be.
village-wide.
Yeah.
pay it on your own, you'd be paying somewhere close to $30.
See, people don't look at it like that.
They don't look at
because
it
they
like
got
that.
walk on
Because
it,
I know when
just
my
birds.
sister-in-law, when they moved over here from Effingham, she couldn't believe it. Because she was used to paying, I think, 35 or 40. She was used to paying that, high price every month. And I said, oh no, I said, it's packed into your water bill. I said, it's only $7.50 and then, they have, I think, an extra container, but.
Yeah,
And that's
for
just a,
$8, that's
Yeah.
fine,
yeah.
It's
She
still
couldn't
cheaper than
believe
me.
it. She couldn't believe it.
And I don't even have sewer in mine, so I pay.
But so many people look at that water bill and all they see is that bottom figure. But they forget that that also takes care of the trash, the sewer, and the water.
Yeah, I think we compared like Eric's water bill to somebody that lives out on EJ that has a bunch of kids. I don't remember who was there at the time, and theirs was way higher than Eric's was with everything.
Yeah.
So, I'm like,
Sure enough, the two of us.
It's like compared apples and oranges.
yeah, it is, because, ours is dirt cheap,
Yeah.
Yeah, we should start seeing some revenue gain because we're not buying so much chemicals and stuff.
Right, energy.
Right. Energy, yeah,
That's
we're
power.
not be paying anything for water, for wars out here.
No, yeah, that's,
that'll shut everything off.
Because
Yeah.
you still want them on lights and gas maybe out
Yeah,
there.
because
Lights, but you gotta have them on.
Because EJ would take care of electricity out here at the booster pump,
Mm-hmm.
so we wouldn't down anything for that.
Yeah, we should be looking on those papers,
How's it
to say
that
how much
number?
you save.
Are they gonna get, let EJ pay for that electric, or
That's
what?
what it said,
EJ will pay for that?
that's what it said in the
In a
election.
minute, yeah, they were, when they took it, they were gonna pay for maintenance and electric, and utilities, right? Am I,
I think.
I heard that.
That's really not good for $4.
well, the fast handling, you're right, for me.
We don't have to pay electric on that either.
Yeah, so you're good.
That'll make that fund build up faster for the water tax.
Right.
And then we're gonna need to do that, because
'Cause you
David
got-
looked that up, and it was the last time we had the inside coated,
Mhm.
but not, it has
It's been a
been,
while.
it's been 2010.
And it's not cheap to have them come in and do anything on
No.
I
it.
don't know that.
I think it was coated in, but I don't know if it was actually inspected.
Yeah, and the best way,
No, it wasn't.
the best way to inspect it, they say, is for the towel to be dry. Because you cannot pressure against it, wet dye, they call it, whatever, it doesn't work. We had a whole presentation in Effingham on it, where they were saying that you can see it, it looks like it's against the wall, but so you drain it, you don't know what that flakiness is doing, what the actual coating metal looks like, so. Okay.
Right.
Anything else?
Any idea when Wabash is gonna be done, or when we're gonna get put on?
Oh,
I'm looking forward to
I
that.
don't know.
Well-
They did anything, why is
They were
it?
working in the snow the other morning.
Well, I had to have one of the guys from the telephone company come up because we were having problems with one of our phone lines, and he said it's just gonna be great when it happens. Our internet will be
Some
so
of South
much,
Deidre's already got the,
so much quicker, and he said it's really gonna be nice.
I just say that
Yeah.
until I see it.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
That's what he said, and he was a young guy, so I'm assuming he knew what he was talking about. He was
I
computer
was
savvy, I don't know.
I ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
They haven't done
They
anything.
haven't got, have they got the permits to go on the railroad tracks yet?
Well, I don't know. Yeah.
They just got them, didn't they, Bruce? They just got the state funds.
So you ought to be
I think that's stable.
pretty soon, yeah.
Don't know the update.
Aren't they going along the blacktop with it? Yeah, they're going that way.
I know South Deidre's had some, but the building ones have his over there. One of the guys that works for the telephone
Lights
company.
better than what we've got now.
It's gotta be. Well, right?
Yeah.
It's like it gets slower and slower.
Any other?
No, adjourn.
Wait,
Found the gavel. Thank you.
Derek, I need a second.
Also.
Annie, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Annie, Derek, Mary.
Lloyd, thank you again.
See, it just makes it, guys on the seat. Except here comes the guy.
Can I ask you a question? Why did you guys skip public comment? I can understand you skipping me,
We did.
but
I told you all ago, you had to have public comment.
what about him? He could have spoke. You didn't even ask him.
He was speaking when you were speaking, right after you did.
What'd he say? He nodded and said,
Yeah,
yeah?
that's right, that's right.
Well, that didn't count into him speaking.
Okay, public comment.
I'd like to have a copy of the papers that they got tonight.
Never mind. So good.
You can't have it.
You're not my friend. Hey, man. I done run. You need to keep my folder up there.
You don't keep your own folder.
Nothing off that issue.
I just want to know what kind of credentials you have to be doing all this.
Simple. It's called the Constitution. I'm sure you've heard of it,
That
right?
ain't got nothing to do with your credentials. What kind of credentials do you have?
Constitution gives me the right to come in here and speak and film. That's all I
Everybody
need.
gave you the right to have the floor to speak.
Well, I didn't ask for it. I was just correcting
I
you
know
guys.
did, and you were out of order.
Should have said I was out of order.
Well, I thought
And
that'd be
then-
nice. You know what? I'm gonna ask the lawyer about this.
Go ahead. Did you get the statute? Did you get the statute wrote
You
down?
were doing all this crap, you can say you don't have the right to do it.
That's fine.
I never, see, mine's got a two, it's either stream or spring. And I don't know if they come out of the water heater. It hasn't done it since they're in the water heater. I haven't seen it, so I don't know. And I'm like,
Quorum of the board.
no, it was black stuff floating in the water. And if you
But
touch
it
it
came on
with
his
a
hot side, it was the hot
If you
side.
touch the water with a paper towel, it's stuck to it, it comes out black. But it hasn't done it since I've been in the water.
Usually don't say
It was before, but it didn't do it under the cold, it didn't do it under the water.
See, it's something in the tank thing, there's something in your hot water tank. Oh, look.
It's Sunday, it's the same.